Hi, this is Tina Lorenz from the mobile office, and today we're talking about money-making email marketing tips. That's kind of hard to say for 2022, and that's our topic. And today we're going to zero in on 5 deadly email mistakes that you might be making. So again, here's our topic: money-making email marketing tips for 2022. And today we're going to cover 5 deadly email mistakes that you might be making right now with your marketing. So the first one is, let's take a look at the first one. Thinking email is dead. You hear this all the time. Constantly marketers are trying to set up the hype. Oh, email marketing is dead. You need to do some other amazing thing instead. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the facts. Let's get real, okay? Use of email has gone up, not down, and it's going to continue to do that. As a matter of fact, statistics show that 4 billion with a B, daily users of email worldwide, and that just keeps going up. Statista estimates that 11 billion people globally will be using email by the end of 2023. That's not very far away, folks, and it's going up to 11 billion. And so why would you want to be left out of that basically marketing bonanza that is available to you? Why would you want to be left out of that? Because the other thing about email marketing is the return on investment is massive. It doesn't cost very much to set up an email marketing campaign. There's lots of email service providers that you can get started with for a free trial for a couple of weeks, and give it a shot and start building your list, okay? Because the return on your email marketing for every $1 spent is estimated to be, I've seen several different statistics, anywhere from $36 to $48 per $1 spent. You know what kind of return on investment? That is huge. It's a huge 4-digit return on investment. I'm not even going to try to do the math in my head right this second. But why wouldn't you want to take advantage of that? Especially when ad costs are going up, it's getting more difficult to reach people with paid ads. Your budget can sometimes be astronomical for very little return on investment. Why wouldn't you take advantage of, right at your fingertips, email marketing with a return like that on every dollar spent? Because you do pay for the subscribers on a list, but a lot of times the cost is quite low for up to about 1,000 subscribers, like maybe 20 some dollars a month, and then it goes up. But if you're monetizing your list, that should be a no-brainer. It shouldn't even be an issue. So that's the first thing. That's the first mistake, is thinking email is dead. It's not going away. It's only going to increase. Don't get left behind. Okay. So that was our first mistake, thinking email marketing is dead. Our second one is not building a list. Okay, you really need to be doing that. Because if you're not building a list, you don't own any of the real estate for your own subscribers, your own business, right? You need to own it. It's the ultimate backup plan for anything that could go wrong. Recently, I had a scenario where the book of the face, so to speak, decided for some reason that never was fully explained that I was not able to communicate with people in my own group as I was starting a live event. And so we had to immediately pivot with my team. And if we had not had an email list, if we had not had a list of our subscribers that we could reach out to immediately, say, here's your workbooks, here's how we're dealing with this, here's how we'll proceed today, so we could go right on without missing a beat. And that's exactly what we did. We would have been just dead in the water right then. Anything can happen at any time. And when you depend on another platform to be the only way you're communicating with people who are interested in what you have, who might want to purchase from you, who are interested in your programs, if you don't have a way to reach out to them on your own that you have control over, full control over, you're making a huge and costly mistake in your business. Don't let that happen to you. So it's actually the ultimate backup plan. And also, an email list can work in both directions. You can use social media to drive traffic to your opt-in, so that you begin to acquire your subscribers, so they go onto your email list. Opt-in topics for another time, but you'd have someone sign in, so sign up with their name and their email address as permission-based email. And so you're bringing them off a social media platform that you might be on into your world. And that should be one of your goals on any of your social media platforms that you might be a regular on. One of your goals should be to move someone who's on that platform with you into your world as one of your subscribers, if it's a good fit for you with your marketing. Now, on the other hand, the other direction is you can use social media to drive traffic to you, and you can use your emails to drive people to your social media. So if you have a YouTube channel, if you're doing things on Instagram, if you're showing up on LinkedIn, if you're on TikTok, wherever you may be, you can use your emails to your subscribers to invite them to join you there as well, because there's lots of multiple reasons why you're building your presence on social media as well as having an email list. It's really what we call an omni-channel. So you have many different directions that people can go. It's omnipresence. So you're showing up everywhere, or at least in several places, very predominantly, so that you can be found, so that you're findable. So email can be a very important tool for all of that as well. Now let's go on to mistake number 3. It's not making your email mobile friendly. Oh my gosh, this is really a serious situation if you don't do this, because you want to be able to do this, and you need to be able to do this, because on average, 63% of people open emails on mobile. I don't even have my phone sitting here right now, but you know how you feel sort of insecure if your phone's not with you every moment of the day? It's next to our beds at night. Sometimes it's close by. It's close by while we're working. It's in our handbag if we carry a bag. It's in our pockets. It's almost always with us. Speaking of omnipresence, look how much that's changed over the years. And so on average, 63%. And it's actually more in some areas and less in some, but kind of the average is out to 63%. And you know what? 81% of those are on smartphones. And so if you're not making your email mobile friendly, big mistake. So what does that mean, though? What does it mean? It means that if it doesn't look good on mobile, then people will actually not read it. Okay. And it can be deleted in as little as 3 seconds. Now, one of the things we say about headlines is that you need to be able to draw people in within 7 or 8 seconds. Well, it seems like time is shrinking for people's attention spans. And it's been shown through testing that it'll be within 3 seconds that they may delete your email if it can't be read on their phone, if it doesn't look good on it. And even more than that, 22% of your subscribers will unsubscribe if they can't read it on their phone. The frustration factor is just like, it's just not worth it. So how do you avoid those things? How do you make that mobile friendly? Well, I'm not a techie, but here's some general points for you to cover. You want to have short subject lines. Think about what's going to fit in that little tiny screen. Maybe about 20% are using iPads and things like that, but the vast majority are looking on their phone. So you want your subject line to be short and punchy and something that grabs attention right away. You want to use short sentences, just like you do in writing copy for other sources too, but especially when you're writing emails for mobile. That's something that's really been changing over the years, that you want to think short sentences, short paragraphs, and you can literally alternate, like one sentence can be a paragraph. One word can be a paragraph. So short one-liner, couple lines, another short one-liner, couple lines. So kind of alternating with 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2 to 3. Think of it in terms of that if you're writing them, so that they're going to look really good on mobile, because you want a lot of white space. You want spaces in between what you're writing. You want simple text-based messaging. That means it's going to be easy to read. You're not going to have some big giant graphic, something that doesn't look right on a phone. And you should test these. Test all your emails. When you're writing emails for yourself, or for your clients even, you can send them out as a test to yourself and see what they look like. See what they look like on your phone. Look at it in the various ways that people are going to consume it. And while here I'm traveling with this giant iMac set up in my mobile office, but my phone is there all the time while I'm driving. And I do check every time we stop, because I'm the driver as well. I'm checking on my phone to see if I have any emails. I'm checking to see if my team needs anything. And so it really is a fact of life that this is how people are going to consume your email. So make sure that they are mobile friendly. Mistake number 4, not staying connected. If you ask someone, do you have a list? Like you're dealing with a client, maybe you have a list. Oh yeah, I've got a list of like 6,000 people. Oh, that's great. So when was the last time you communicated with them? Oh, I don't know, sometime back around, maybe Thanksgiving of 20. So if you're not staying connected to your people on a regular basis, both your current and potential clients, both that are subscribed to you, then you're making another big mistake. Mistake number 4, actually, with your email marketing in 2022. You need to email regularly. I would say at least once a week. It can't be just once a month and expect people to remember you, because remember, people are getting thousands of emails every single day. They're cursoring through on their phones, they're looking on their desktops, they're deciding what they're going to look at, what they're going to ignore, what they're going to delete, what they're going to throw out for spam. And so you want to rise to the top. And one way you do that is by being a regular communicator with your people. So they actually look forward to hearing from you, like give good quality content, right? And email regularly. What kinds of emails you can send to both current and potential clients. You want to nurture. You're not going to sell in every single email. Here's another offer and another offer. You do want to make enough offers, but not so much that people are just like tuning you out because all they want is something from me. They're never helpful. So email regularly. When I say nurturing emails, it's just that you're building relationship, you're building connection. You can do that with follow-up for purchases. When they've already purchased from you, do you have a follow-up sequence saying, how's it going? And have you made sure you check out this and the lesson on page 7 or module 2, or here's how another way you can use this device you just purchased from us, whatever it might be. Have a sequence where you follow up and show you care. You care about your people, right? Or if you have any questions, here's how you can reach out to us, all of that. Cart abandonment. What does that mean? That means when someone's going through your funnel or going through your marketing process and they've got this close, they're right perched on the edge of purchasing, but the data shows, and that's another important element here. You're going to watch your data. It shows that they stopped. That's called cart abandonment. You can literally set up an email sequence just for that. Hey, we noticed that, it looks like you were thinking about, and perhaps you had some more questions, and you can follow up with another email sequence that helps someone take that final decision and go through the check stand, so to speak, with their cart and purchase whatever it is that you were offering them in the first place. You can make more offers. So as you're doing the nurturing, you're also going to bridge the gap into sales or promotional emails where you are going to have an offer, where you are going to have a link to something. And so if they've already purchased from you, remember the statistics are something like 60 to 70% more likely to purchase something from you if they already have. And the highest cost of acquisition for any of your subscribers is on the front end of actually getting them to become subscribers for whatever source of your time or your money as far as acquiring that subscriber in the first place. And so once you have them in your world, once they have willingly said, I want to hear from you and I'd love to hear more about what you have by opting in with you, then continue to have that connection. And so you give them value and also make the offers through your emails as well. And there can be things like early enrollments or early bird signups, or because you're in my inner circle, or you're the first to know, here's what's coming in October. Absolutely be using your emails if you're launching anything. You're going to have a whole sequence. Like right now, very popular to do online live challenges. I have one myself, the Cash Flow Copywriting Challenge, and it's a 5-day live challenge. When I wrote my own copy for that, I wrote something like 18 to 20 emails just to get started with that challenge, and several hundred pages of copy. There's a lot of moving parts for those doing live challenges. And if you're a copywriter, having clients that want to do challenges is also a great project for you to be able to continue to supply what they need in the copy elements, because even if you have it all, think you have it all dialed in, you're going to have more things that are needed. Oh, I need to add one more email for this, or I need to add another sequence for that. And so all of these things are, by the way, low-hanging fruit for a freelance copywriter as far as copywriting projects, right? Being able to write effective emails and knowing these things to help your client. This is for you, whether you're writing for yourself, your own programs or projects, or you're writing for a client. So keep that in mind with everything I teach. It applies to both being freelance copywriter from that perspective of serving your clients, or for yourself if you're writing your own copy and you want to really hone the craft of your marketing communication. Okay, so let's go on to mistake number 5, which is not personalizing and being real with your messaging. This is so important, because if it reeks of this is just a marketing ploy, you're going to lose people just from that. And so you want to listen to your customers. You want to be real with your clients. You want to really just be who you are, your voice, your message, your mission, whatever it may be. Share that with the people that have subscribed to you. And how can you do that? You do it by being conversational. If you can write like you talk, and this is something we frequently say with copywriting, then that's exactly what you want to do. Read it out loud. If it doesn't sound like a natural flow of conversation, you should be editing it. So you want to you can be somewhat transparent as appropriate, about what you're doing in your life, you use stories, use lots and lots of stories in your copy and in your emails. Such an important aspect, because we are geared to stories. Our DNA is reactive to stories. We grew up with stories, and all the way back to the times of of carvings on walls in caves. The stories have been handed down over centuries. And so we're definitely tuned to listening to stories, and it makes an easier way to teach something. It makes an easier way to show examples, like with case studies, or something that you've learned, or the biggest mistakes you've made in your business, or something that could be very helpful to someone. Let someone go with you on your journey, kind of looking over your shoulder with something that you're doing. How to emails of literally a step-by-step, 1, 2, 3, here's how you do this thing. Client case studies, success stories from the people that you serve, tips. This is also great for nurturing emails. I do a lot of emails on mindset and ways to start shifting how you think and to be able to think differently to create more success in your life. I teach copywriting, and I do copywriting tips in my emails, but I have many that are based on more story-based on what you can do, a step you can take today, something that person could use like immediately. And I have evergreen content that you can be sending out and line it up. There's a whole aspect of autoresponders, basically emails that are automated that you can be setting up in advance to go out on a particular day of the week or in a particular sequence that just keeps you connected to your audience and is just helpful. And another tip for you here is to have a resource box on the bottom of your emails, kind of a templated resource box that goes with any of your nurturing emails that has the other ways that they can connect with you. Here, you find me on LinkedIn. You can subscribe to this here. Here's my free copywriting training. Here's my free book, or whatever you may have. You can include that on your emails, which is another way to continue the track of having that omnipresence and directional way that you're reaching people. And give great content, give value. If you're in business, then there must be things that you have that are valuable to those you serve. If you're a freelance copywriter, one thing I actually did not do early on was have my own email list. I'll just tell you right off, something I didn't pay a lot of attention to because I did so much networking and I had so many referrals when it came to working one-on-one with clients for copywriting that I just kind of didn't need it at the time. But what I would recommend now, though, is that you are creating your own email list, even if it's a small one, because as we'll get to in just a minute, your email list can be very, very profitable. And that's the other thing, right? Remember we said like anywhere from $30 36 to 48 per dollar spent on your email marketing. And so the same with potential copywriting clients, that you can have an email subscription for something of value that you're teaching, and they come onto your list, and then you can continue that conversation until they're ready to become one of your copywriting clients. So all of these things are super important in your email marketing. And, I just couldn't resist because, I always deliver. That's kind of my deal. And so I'm going to give you a bonus, number 6, even though I said 5, let's go with 6. Thinking emojis are unprofessional. Now, this is something a lot of people think. I started noticing, I don't even know now how many years it's been, of the last several years, where I started noticing that more really corporate type places were using emojis, like Target or AT&T. They're all like big companies that were using emojis in their email marketing messaging. And so you should pay attention when you see the signs like that. And I started using them several years ago. But thinking that they're unprofessional is a big mistake, because they add so much pizzazz to your email, especially in the subject line. It's been found that statistically, having emojis can boost your open rates as much as 24%. 24% just by having one emoji in your subject line. It's not unprofessional. It actually captures attention when you see all those emails going by on someone's phone, for example, and have it be relatable. It needs to be relatable to what you're writing about. So that's part of the fun too, is I have to admit, I get kind of excited when new emojis are coming out, because I start thinking about how can I use that one? I got to find a way to use that one. Some of them are a little hard to tell what they are. So test them. Also, send you a sample email and take a look at, can I see what that is? Can I clearly see what the emoji is in the subject line? So I'll tell you the one that has boosted as much as 24% in recent months. Now, this could change, over time. If you're watching this broadcast later, some of these things may have changed, and that's just the nature of online marketing. But I'll tell you what it is. It's the clock. The little red clock has the highest open rates on subject lines in recent times. And I'm actually going to show you some of the ones that are the most popular in just a minute, okay? But a couple of big mistakes are thinking that they'll go to the junk folder if you use an emoji, or if they're only for consumer marketing, or they're silly. Those are incorrect assumptions. Emojis, like I said, in subject lines, have grown exponentially at the time of this broadcast in the last 18 months. They've gone way up in use in subject lines. And I think that that will continue to be the case. Do make them relevant. Do test and see what they look like. Don't overload. We don't want to look like, an 11-year-old sending a message to their fellow kid friend or something, or have all the words be emojis where you have to decipher everything. But use them judiciously, use them smartly, use them to add a little punch in your emails. And especially if you're using them in the subject line, I recommend you put them on the front of the subject line as the very first thing, so that captures that attention. And I'm going to show you some of the most popular ones at the time of this broadcast. These were some of the most popular ones. So let's take a look. I'm going to just put them right here. There we go. So these are some of the most popular ones going right across the screen. There's the red clock that I told you about. So the other ones are the hourglass. Okay. Think of how you could use these just in your subject line. If you haven't been using them, try just using one and see how it goes for your open rates, that type of thing. So the hourglass, the starburst, that green check mark, that's a really good one. That the ball, you see the green baller, that's another one. I use that a lot on my messages. I use them when I'm sending them even to people I'm working with, like my marketing team, so that they find my email, right? And so that they see it right away, because I don't want to get lost in the shuffle of, oh, there's Tina with the purple heart, that kind of a thing. We know it's her. And so that's another one that's really popular right now. Let's see what else we have. Oh, the flame, we love the flame. Got to have the flame. The arrows, and that could be various directions. And try to point them the right way, like point them at your subject line or back at something. Think about how you're using them and if it's relevant and if it makes sense. And again, the ball is another one that's really, really popular. But those going across your screen right now, those are some of the most popular right now in current time. So try using one. I gave a master class on this in a group that I'm in. The mentor asked me would I do a master class. And I did one on all of this. And I gave a whole bunch of tips about how to do subject lines. And one of the women that was attending that ended up posting in the group that she had never been able to get past something like, I think it was 18% or something like that in her open rates. And her open rates like more than doubled. They just shot up when she did just some of these tips that I'm telling you right now. She decided, I'm going to start doing this with my emails. And she had an immediate result of a higher open rate. This has gotten a lot more challenging because of the things with iOS and the privacy and all of these things. I used to teach, do 2 subject lines so that you could resend to the unopens. And that's kind of gone out the window, because you don't have accurate tracking for the open rates, and you can't necessarily easily send to the unopens because of that. So we have to stay current. We have to stay with what's happening in 2022. What can we do with our email to make it even more effective, to pay more attention? And, test with the emojis, don't overload, use them in your subject line. And also, if you're worried with the emoji aspect of this, that someone won't be able to see them, World Data, one of my favorite sources for data about emails, has tested and shown that 94%, more than 94% of email accounts can successfully see the emojis that are in the email. And so you don't have to worry about that either. So that's what I've got for you today. And I'm sitting there playing around with my banners here. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, over the next several broadcasts, I'm going to be talking about how you can increase your profitability and the effectiveness with email marketing in 2022. What's working now, and why should you be doing these things? And give me some examples, Tina, of how I'd write a really good email. One email I sent out, and I think I'm going to show it to you in one of the upcoming broadcasts. I have a client that's based out of Canada, and it was coming up on Thanksgiving in the U.S., the American Thanksgiving. And I reminded them saying, hey, because I was writing for them on a regular basis. So what if I just write you an email for Black Friday here in the US? And they were like, oh, okay. Now I'm talking about a really big physical product. I'll tell you about what that was on another broadcast, but we're not talking about a digital product. It was something that literally had to be delivered on a semi, right? And they sent out the one email I wrote them for the Black Friday events that were going on, and they had $100,000 day from that one email, $100,000 email. And so if it can do this for you as well, you can have emails that bring in that kind of money or more for yourself and for your clients. And so if you're a freelance copywriter, especially, learning the craft of writing effective emails is a very valuable piece of your business and as an aspect of the toolkit that you should be developing, because marketers need emails all the time. This is an ongoing thing. It's not like, well, I wrote some emails and they don't need any more for the next 5 years. Marketers need emails all the time, or they need to adjust them. My own email sequences, I'm adjusting them all the time to keep them current for small changes that might have happened in my business, or something I'm doing differently in a pacing or timing of a program. Any of those things that have to be adjusted and tweaked and looked at and tested and make sure that they still read appropriately and they're still accurate. Well, if it's like that for yourself and your own business, and it's like that for your clients if you're serving clients as a freelance copywriter. So this is something to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on with your clients' emails, what they might need. You could definitely have retainers of just writing emails. There's lots of marketers that want an email every single day. They want something to be sent every single day. And so this is, again, a gold mine for copywriters that can have a very healthy monthly retainer, healthy in the sense of the level of revenue that it's creating for you when you're writing a set amount of emails for a client. So keep that in mind if you're a freelancer or getting started as a freelance copywriter, that this is one of those opportunities for you where you can start to build your business faster, because you're able to do this in a timely way for more than one client and build your revenue base just with emails alone. So I hope this was helpful to you. I'm looking forward to the rest of the series that I'm going to do for you about email marketing and how it's such an important aspect of your marketing in 2022. Don't overlook it. It's not dead. It's alive and well and growing and thriving, and is going to continue to, and is going to become even more important as we move forward. So be sure you tune in for more of the lessons from me of how you can do this for yourself and in your business. Hope this was helpful for you today. I love it if you subscribe, if you comment, if you found it valuable, share it with someone. And I will be talking to you again very soon on the value of email marketing for you in 2022. Thanks for being here today. Until next time, this is Tina Lorenz.